Hello friends, let's see the pelvic diaphragm. Pelvic diaphragm is nothing but it is the thin muscular partition which is situated within the pelvic cavity, and this muscular partition having the passage of the opening of the urethra as well as anal canal in case of male, while urethra, vagina and anal canal in case of female. So let's see this figure for the orientation. This figure, it is the image of the bony pelvis from above, where we can see the pelvic inlet, and here in front this is the pubic symphysis and this is the pubic crest. So here when we draw with it the blue color, this is the pelvic brim, or we can say it is the pelvic inlet, and here within the pelvic cavity we can see this structure. It is the obturator fascia, which is going to cover the obturator internus muscle, and this obturator fascia, it is nothing but it is the part of the pelvic fascia which is going to cover the obturator internus muscle from the inner side. And within the middle of this obturator fascia, one tendinous arch is there, and this tendinous arch, it is called as tendinous arch or the white line of the pelvic fascia. This particular tendinous arch, it is incorrectly described as the part of the obturator fascia because it is over the obturator fascia, but actually it is the part of the pelvic fascia, because this levator ani muscle, it is migrated caudally from the pelvic inlet to the pelvic cavity because of the adoption of the upright posture in case of man. So with the adoption of the upright posture in case of the human being, this levator ani muscle, so the part of the pelvic diaphragm, it moves caudally and it reaches up to the pelvic cavity, up to the tendinous arch, and the upper part of this obturator fascia up to the tendinous arch, it is formed by the pelvic fascia itself. Here in this figure, this is the body of the sacrum, and here this is the pelvic surface of the sacrum and the tip of the coccyx here, and these two are the ala of the sacrum on each side of the body. Within the pelvic cavity, we can see this is the urethral opening. Just behind the urethral opening in case of female, this is the vagina, and just behind it we find this structure. This is the perineal body. Just behind the perineal body we find the anal hiatus, or we can say anal opening. Just behind the anal orifice we find this raphe, and this raphe, it is extend from the anal canal in front and the tip of the coccyx behind, so it is called as anococcygeal raphe. So with this much orientation, let's see the pelvic diaphragm. So the pelvic diaphragm muscle, it is situated within the pelvic cavity and it forms a slung like the hammock around the effluents of the urethra and anal canal in case of male, while urethra, vagina and anal canal in case of female. And below this pelvic diaphragm we find another partition in the urogenital triangle, and this diaphragm, it is the urogenital diaphragm. So when we see the pelvic diaphragm, it is going to be formed by one muscular layer and which is covered by one fascia above it and one fascia below it, and these three structures, they are collectively called as pelvic diaphragm. And this pelvic diaphragm, it consists of two muscles. One is the levator ani muscle and one coccygeus muscle. Now let's see both these muscles in little bit more detail. First of all, we are going to see the levator ani muscle. This levator ani muscle having two parts. One is going to arise from the pubis and going to insert to the coccyx, and this muscle, it is called as the pubococcygeus muscle. And another muscle which is going to arise from the ilium and going to insert over the coccyx, and this muscle, it is the iliococcygeus muscle. So when we see the levator ani muscle here in this figure, this is the actual boundary up to the levator ani. So here in this figure, when we see the levator ani muscle having two parts, one is the pubococcygeus and one is the iliococcygeus. So let's see the iliococcygeus muscle first. This iliococcygeus muscle, which is going to arise from this posterior part of the tendinous arch of the obturator fascia as well as from this ischial spine. And the fibers, they are going to pass downward, medially and backward and reaches up to the sides of the lower two pieces of the coccyx as well as into the anococcygeal raphe. So this muscle, it is the iliococcygeus part of the levator ani. When we see the pubococcygeus muscle, the remaining anterior part of the levator ani muscle, it is the pubococcygeus muscle. But this pubococcygeus muscle, it is further divided into four parts. The most posterior part of this levator ani muscle, which is going to pass downward and backward and posteriorly and going to overlap this iliococcygeus muscle, and it is going to insert over the tip of the coccyx as well as the anococcygeal raphe, and these fibers, they are called as the pubococcygeus proper. The fiber which is situated just in front of this pubococcygeus proper, and these fibers, they are going to passes downward, backward and medially and going to wrap around the rectum, and these fibers, they are called as the puborectalis. This puborectalis muscle, they are not going to insert over the raphe and they are not going to form the raphe also, but this puborectalis muscle, they are going to blend with the deeper part of the sphincter ani externus muscle, and that's what going to form the puborectal sling. And this puborectal sling, it is responsible for the maintenance of the continence of the feces. The third part, that is called as the puboanalis muscle, and this puboanalis muscle, these fibers, they are passes backward and medially and going to wrap around the anal canal, and these fibers, they are called as the puboanalis muscle. And these puboanalis muscle fibers, they are going to blend with the walls of the anal canal. And the most anterior portion of this pubococcygeus muscle, these fibers, they are passes around the side of the prostate in case of male or vagina in case of female, and are inserted into the perineal body. And these fibers are called as pubovesicalis in case of male and pubovaginalis in case of female. So we can say that pubococcygeus muscle having four parts, and these are the pubococcygeus proper, then the puborectalis, puboanalis, and the fourth part, that is the pubovaginalis in case of female or pubovesicalis in case of male. And the iliococcygeus muscle, it is also the part of the levator ani muscle. So we can say levator ani muscle, it is going to form the anterior 2/3 muscular sheath of this pelvic diaphragm, and the most of the part which is going to be formed by the pubococcygeus only. This levator ani muscle, which is going to be supplied by S2, S3 and S4 nerves, and out of them this S4 nerve, which is going to supply the posterior part of this levator ani muscle, which is actually going to be formed by this iliococcygeus portion, and it is from the pelvic surface, so we can say it is from above going to be supplied by S4 nerve, while the anterior part of the levator ani, it is mainly formed by the pubococcygeus muscle, which is going to be supplied by S2 and S3 spinal nerves, and this S2 and S3 spinal nerve, they are via the perineal nerve, and that's why they are going to be supplied the levator ani muscle from the perineal surface, so we can say from below. Now let's see the coccygeus muscle. The other name of this coccygeus muscle is the ischio-coccygeus muscle. So this ischio-coccygeus muscle, it is the one of the part of the pelvic diaphragm which is going to arise from the ischial spine and going to insert over the coccyx as well as the lower part of the sacrum, and that's why this muscle, it is called as the ischio-coccygeus muscle. So here in this figure, this is the ischio-coccygeus muscle which is situated on posterior aspect of the levator ani muscle. It is going to arise from this ischial spine and passes backward and medially and going to insert over the coccyx as well as the lower part of the sacrum. And the posterior most part of this muscle, it is usually degenerate to form the sacrospinous ligament. So sacrospinous ligament, it is the degenerated part of the coccygeus muscle. This coccygeus muscle, it is going to be supplied by S4 and S5 sacral nerves. So these two muscles, levator ani as well as the coccygeus muscle, they are collectively form the pelvic diaphragm. So now let's revise for the orientation point of view. The pelvic diaphragm, it is formed by two muscles, levator ani and coccygeus muscle. This levator ani muscle having two major parts. One is the pubococcygeus and one is the iliococcygeus. And this coccygeus muscle itself, it is called as the ischio-coccygeus. This pubococcygeus muscle having four parts: pubococcygeus proper, puborectalis, puboanalis, and pubovaginalis in case of female, or the pubovesicalis in case of male. So these are going to form the pelvic diaphragm.